Do you want to, well, we need to call the attendance. Do you want to do the attendance call? Or?
Sorry, you want me to?
Yeah, if you'll do the attendance call.
I just got that and I didn't think.
All right.
Okay.
I'll do roll call. Mr. Ricky? Here. Mr. Crowe?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh. Good morning. It's Thursday, January the 12th, 2017. Welcome everyone to the State Police Commission. We'll call roll. Mr. Ricky? Here. Mr. Crowe?
Yeah.
Mr. Doss?
Here.
Mr. Simeon?
Here.
Mr. Braxton?
Yes.
Ms. Manzella?
Here.
Ms. Durban?
Here.
And Ms. Finney?
Here.
And Mr. Graffin, excuse me.
Mr. Griffin's absent.
Absent.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody rise. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to business. Number one on the agenda is consideration of the December 8th, 2016 minutes. Do I have any comments or motions?
Move approved. I would like to make a motion that the minutes are very detailed in some of what I said, and since I didn't get them until early this morning, I'd like the opportunity to listen to the tape from the last meeting and review the minutes before we approve it, if that's possible.
Second, okay. All in favor of tabling approval of the minutes until the February meeting?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Number two on the business is the opportunity to address the commission by employees or others. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Trustee Meade has been here before, and I've come before you today with some of the same problems that existed in the past. I'd first like to ask Commissioner Riquet about 3 meetings ago. I alleged that Mike Edmondson sat in this very chair and lied to this commission so that he could get a new position approved, a new colonel position approved. And when asked by Mr. Simeon, was it for anybody in particular, not Jason Storms, he said it was not for Jason Storms. He also testified at that same time that it would not cost any additional funds. In fact, it's cost about $25,000 in that vicinity. When I brought it up at the last meeting before last, or maybe a last meeting, I'm confused as to which meeting, but you asked for a audio to be given to each member because several of the members did not remember what he said. And when asked, you said you would put it on today's agenda. I don't see that on today's agenda.
Your request is not falling on deaf ears. I have several files up here. One of the files I have up here is the Storms issue. It's kind of light because the budget issue that obviously has a lot of people in attendance today jumped in front of me because we had to get that issue handled. I'm going to ask you to bear with me until next month so I can get finished doing the research on this file, and we'll be able to talk about this next month.
Well, you know,
We did get the audio tapes. Everybody does have them, but I'm still trying to put together everything I need to be able to talk fully and intelligently about it. I'm asking you because I didn't plan on this budget stuff popping up, and we have real issues with that. I've literally spent days and hours nonstop on this budget. and I have not been able to put forth the amount of attention to that issue. I promise you, I'll commit to you, by next month, it'll be on the agenda, and this file will have what it needs into it so we can all discuss it intelligently. If you can just bear with me.
Yes,
And
sir.
Mr. Rickey is not the only person on the board who feels that same way, that this will be on the agenda and will be discussed.
Well, you know, the one complaint that I've had that is as plain to me as a handwriting on the wall, the tail has been wagging the dog of this commission. And there's a lot of new commissioners on here, I know, but they need to go back, put state police under civil service if this commission's not gonna do its job.
Well,
It's just that simple, and I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it.
and everybody's entitled to their perception. Sometimes it just takes the dog a little while to start to get the tail, okay? Be a little patient. Some of the issues that you have concern about will be addressed.
Okay, I thank you. Yes, sir. Chairman Dawes, it's come to my attention for some time ago that you, at the LSTA convention, addressed the convention. And a statement was made that the only way that the commission could be straightened out if you was elected chairman and they got rid of the director and her lapdog.
I don't recall making that statement.
You don't recall it? I think, Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend, sir. Did your assistant, Chantel, receive, when y'all subpoenaed some records and documents, where we had made allegations against the troopers, did you receive a letter that stated what was heard firsthand about what Commissioner Doss said at the LSTA convention?
Mr. Millet, I think that whatever documents that I received in that investigation are confidential.
Can't hear you.
I said, I think whatever documents I received in connection with that investigation are confidential documents. I owe a privilege to this commission, and so I don't think it would be appropriate for me to sit here and verbalize or be subject to answering those questions. If, and again, not telling Mr. Mead how to do his job, if he wants to make a public records request, we can address it at that point in time. But in terms of me telling people what I do as a lawyer for this commission, that's privileged and confidential. If you hired me, I wouldn't go tell the audience what I'm doing for you in your case. So I hope you respect and understand that.
Well, but I did in fact, ask under the constitutional, I'd have to look it up, section where when you complete this investigation, that you should do a summary report, you should make it available. And you at that time told me that, that wasn't gonna happen. So, how can a public records request change anything?
I'm not telling you can, I'm just telling you that I feel that my obligation, my ethical obligation to this commission as their attorney is to act as their attorney, and I'm not going to do anything that violates that confidentiality and that privilege.
Okay.
And I hope you respect, as I said, and understand that, because if I was representing you and I went out and told the members of this public what was going on in your case, that would be totally inappropriate.
I accept your explanation. What concerns me about this, what I see happening with the commission, is that like there's myself and 3 other retired employees who exposed wrongdoing by the LSTA to this commission for ourselves. A result of that was that our membership in that association after 47 years was terminated. No cause given. I know the cause. I see the same thing happening with this commission. I think your director is trying to get this commission in line with the Constitution of the state of Louisiana. And I think because of that, it's ruffled many political feathers. Because the politics of this commission, you had 3 commissioners resign before because they were doing illegal acts, and that concerns me. And I'd like to ask Mr. Townsend in this city, it's come to my attention that Ms. Monzella is a attorney for the city of New Orleans, and she in fact negotiates and signs contracts with the Louisiana State Police. Is that not an ethics violation under Louisiana ethics law? And should she resign?
It's my understanding that Ms. Manzella does not negotiate contracts, and that she has not, and certainly not negotiated a contract since she was made a part of this commission.
That's correct.
Is that your job duties?
My job duties are to approve the contracts for form and legality at the initial level. The attorneys who actually have final approval on those contracts are above me. But I don't negotiate those pay rates or anything like that. That's taken care of outside.
Well, I just thank y'all again for listening to me. I have nothing to gain and everything to lose. I've said that. It costs me money. Mr. Rickey talked about how you guys are volunteering your time and coming up here. Well, I've been coming here for a year. I don't get per diem. I don't get travel. All I want to see is the Louisiana State Police Commission follow the Louisiana State Constitution in its duties and authorities. That's all. If it did, this would be a wonderful world. But I'd like to leave
Sir,
y'all.
for the record,
Sir?
I don't take my per diem, I don't take my mileage distribution.
well,
So I'm just like you. I pay for my own gas, and I take my own time in the day to do this.
Okay.
Just so you know, because I
But
want you to
I'm
understand where
making
I'm
the
coming
point.
from too. I'm making the point as well.
Okay.
You said we all get per diems, we all take our mileage. That's not true.
Okay. I just leave you with one saying, and it's an old saying, but it's a true saying. A nation of sheep breeds a government of wolves. And that is a true saying, and we need to all think about that in everything we do. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate you listening to me, and I'm sure we'll talk again.
See you next month.
Any other comments? Moving on, number 3 on the docket in the matter of Richie E. Stanley, Department of Public Safety and Corrections, Office of State Police, docket number 16-227-S, settlement proposal. Do we have anyone here today to speak on this?
We have the original settlement agreement for signature. I don't know if you want me to read it or if you want Mr. Falcon to come and explain it.
I got a question. This is the first I've heard that. I mean, these settlement agreements, we don't get them before to look at them. I read what the colonel
Ms.
and the
Server, did you
superintendent.
send the settlement agreement to
I just got
Commissioner,
that today.
the proposed when it happened?
Yes, the
Yeah,
proposed one I did.
she forwarded it, I guess a couple of weeks ago to the commissioners.
So the colonel do his deal, and then they go back and do a settlement deal that's different from what the colonel and the superintendent does. So I guess I'm kind of confused a little bit there. I'm voting to do, but I don't know what these guys did, or whether I don't know.
Well, I think, you want Mr. Falcon to explain what they did?
it's
I think
just,
that might help.
I just, it looked like it would be to come up and, I guess, bring all parties up and talk about it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be the one that's on the left out like a crazy, but these settlement deals, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for not reading it, but I don't know what the guy did and what the agreement. That's my fault, but it won't happen. Yeah, I don't understand it. Anyway,
If you don't mind, would you have Mr. Falcon come up and address the commission?
Mr. Falcon?
is it in this pack? Is it in this booklet here?
I assume it is. I just was handed the original today.
It seemed like we would get the original early enough where we can look at the original, because the copy one tells you one thing and the original one might tell you something else. I don't know what could change in the time of, I'm not a lawyer, but I've seen where things happen today and change tomorrow.
It is in your booklet,
Okay.
under number 3.
I forgive for being stupid. I'm just trying to.
I'll pass these around.
Good morning, my name is Michelle Gerard, and I'm the attorney for the appointing authority in this case. Mr. Braxton, the original and the proposed are exactly the same, just because of executing the documents, getting them circulated to the parties. That's why you didn't have the original before this morning, but the agreement is exactly the same as what was forwarded to you before.
And I think some of the concern that's being expressed is that maybe Mr. Braxton's concerned we don't have enough of the facts of what, the underlying facts upon which to evaluate the settlement, if I understood correct.
I mean, this thing involves the sheriff's department. I mean, I see what the colonel said, but I think he's right. I mean, I don't know all the facts. I mean, the facts is, do we deserve it or do we don't deserve it? Why would I change different from what the colonel made the decision to do this. And that's what him and them decided to do. Then we come here and we change what the colonel said to do. Are we disrespecting the colonel? I mean, why don't we, I'm just curious.
I represent the colonel as the appointing authority in this matter, and when the appeal was filed and the parties negotiated, this is what the colonel agreed to at this point. For reasons that come out during preparing for the case for appeal, there are times when we may agree to something different than what was originally implemented, and the colonel has agreed to this settlement. I'm presenting it on his behalf.
He's fine with it. Okay, I'm okay.
So the colonels go with it and the employees go with it. That's the nature of the settlement, correct?
That's the nature of the settlement, Mr. Chairman. When a disciplinary action is filed, those are just simply allegations.
Yes, sir.
Just like when a lawsuit is filed, those are allegations, there's no proof. As we get into the thing, we do some fairly extensive discovery, exchange of documentation and so forth. We meet and we discuss. One of the things we meet and discuss is, can we reach some stipulations as to what the facts are? This case, we have no stipulations because the nature of the case, they had a whole lot of witnesses. This was probably going to be maybe a 2-day trial. It fairly complex set of facts. We were in substantial disagreement as to what the facts would come out before this hearing. In every case, we always have discussions about the possibility of resolving the case without the necessity of having an appeal. And we came to an agreement through actually over a period of several weeks or maybe a month, been a couple of months of negotiations back and forth, and we ultimately settled on 60 hours as being adequate for his not completing an investigation in accordance with the expectations of the department. He did not do a good job in completing the investigation. This involved, so you know, it involves an investigation of a sheriff deputy who was involved or allegedly involved in a hit and run. Very little evidence of any contact in the hit and run. The deputy then proceeded to his house where it appears that there was substantial disagreement between that deputy and he was a lieutenant with the sheriff's office. That deputy and other supervisory people in the sheriff's office, they had apparently, and this is just my take on the thing, apparently 2 factions in that sheriff's office, and you got 2 completely different stories. So we were going to have a lot of differing testimony before this board, and Ms. Joe and myself, negotiated a possibility of settling the matter, and we agreed to settle it. The colonel signed off on it, was happy with it, and thought it served the needs of this Office of State Police. And my man took a hit. I wasn't real happy with the hit he took, but you know, that's the nature of compromise.
And I'm for you, State Police, but I guess one other question I gotta ask: if you'd had this information before, your man never would have took a hit. He'd been off the hook. I'm just saying, if all the information that was gathered the first time and presented to the colonel, your guy would would never been, he wouldn't even be in it.
Yeah, we don't get it until we file, the way the procedure works, we file an appeal, we don't get all of the information, internal affairs reports, the statements and so forth until such time as we file an appeal, the matter set for hearing. You don't have discovery like you do in a civil case before this commission. Fortunately, they give it to me before. I subpoena it when it's sent to trial, and generally speaking, a week or so before they'll give it to us, so we don't get over here and have, in this case, we had a stack of videos and DVD statements and stuff, but a stack of paper this high. If we did it like they do at the State Civil Service Commission, often get it on the morning of the trial, which is a disaster. Because for instance, in this case, it wouldn't be fair to y'all if they present 6 inches of paper to me and I take 3 hours to read it while y'all sitting around waiting. So that in that regard, years ago, we agreed to try and exchange documents in advance because it makes no sense for us, everybody to be looking at it for the first time on the day of the trial. And that's how the rules provide. There's no pre-trial, per se, discovery. We only have the right to obtain information through subpoenas. When I give them the subpoena, they usually give me the documents, and that the whole idea, and it's mutually beneficial because we can often work out, we have a meeting with Ms. Feeney sometimes at her office, and we work out a set of stipulations and try and synthesize what's gonna have to come before y'all, as opposed to taking 6 or 8 hours to present something. We try and present it to where y'all can make a decision. I mean, I like to keep them down to 3 or 4 hours if I can, because I think I worry about losing people after that amount of time.
Are you trying to say we have a short attention span?
Well, I think y'all all business people and all have other things besides this. And you know, let me tell you what's happened in the past. You have one-day meetings a month. And in the past, I've had cases where it's taken 2 or 3 days to try the case. And we would have them one day at a time over 3 months. You talk about a disaster. It's certainly a disaster for me because I got to go back and read everything and re-prepare each 3 times. You know, you don't have 3 days of trial or 2 days of trial. So we try and work together to try and simplify things and agree on the things that are really not in dispute. This particular case, everything was in dispute.
Mr. Braxton, for your information though, when Mr. Falcon filed the appeal, he attached a copy of the disciplinary letter that was served on the employee. And going through all those facts that are stated in there is what the agency has to prove. As we stated in paragraph 1 of the settlement agreement, the only thing that changed in that final letter is we took out the 1 violation of conduct unbecoming and changed the penalty. But everything that was in the original letter has remained the same.
Thank you, David.
Do we have any motions?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Number 4, in the matter of William R. Woodward III, docket number 16-229, notice of possible defect and appeal. Lenore, I'm going to allow you to explain this.
We received an appeal from Mr. Woodward, and I reviewed it, and upon initial review, there were issues that it appeared that he risked dismissal of his appeal because it did not look like his claims were timely and or claims that were causes of action under our rules. And rather than ask the commission to dismiss this out of hand, my suggestion was that we have an interim order that I issued allowing Mr. Woodward 15 more days to amend his appeal to allege a claim or timely claim if he can do so. And if there are no objections from the commission, I will mail this today to Mr. Woodward.
Are you looking for a motion? Or
Motion.
No, I just, if there's no objections, because it's an interim order.
Give him his time to, when he needs to.
Okay, well, if we don't need a motion, then that's resolved. Can I have a motion to take a break? You got it. 30-minute break, if we don't mind.
Move. 30-minute break.
All in favor of 30-minute break, and we'll resume.
Okay.
We'll resume at 10:10.
Just one second left. If somebody had hit there, if they had a timeout. But if somebody had hit the ball, I was like, no, stay there 1 more second instead of we gotta catch it. That second would have been off.
Oh, the original, that one went around? He's somewhere, let's see.
Meeting is back in session. Mr. Townsend,
Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, I have conferred with Ms. Durbon, and I have received from her a letter of resignation effective today. And so she has provided me that which I have here, along with her badges and so forth. So members, Ms. Durbon has served as the executive director, as I understand it, for 8 years. And she has made this decision to resign effective today. I've had the privilege of working with her for several months since I was hired, and I can tell you that she's endeavored in every way possible to represent this commission in some what I consider to be turbulent times. This commission, as I appreciate it, was kind of low-key for many years, and there have been some issues, and she has certainly done her best to represent this commission as the executive director. And but I want to bring this to your attention, Mr. Chairman and members, that I have this letter, and I'll present it to you at this point in time.
I'll allow all the other board members to read the letter.
No, thank you.
Okay, good, absolutely. I'll read it in the record. Everyone reads that. To read this in the record, January 12, 2017, dear Mr. Doss, I've enjoyed working the State Police Commission as director. However, time has come for me to move on and pursue career and educational goals. I am therefore resigning from my post of director effective January 12, 2017. This letter serves as my notice with my last working day being January 12, 2017. It has been a pleasure working for the State Police Commission, and I will miss my associations there. I wish you and the State Police Commission continued success in all future endeavors. Thank you for this great learning opportunity. Sincerely, Kathy Durbon. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Do I have a second? All in favor of accepting the resignation letter? All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Comments?
No comments.
I think we should go ahead and do a name-by-name vote.
Yeah, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay.
Forgive me. Ms. Lenore, would you please conduct a roll call vote for acceptance of the resignation letter?
Who made the motion, first of all?
Donald.
Donald Rose, who seconded?
I'll second.
Ms. Manzella seconded. And Ms. Manzella, how do you vote?
Accept the resignation.
Mr. Braxton, how do you vote?
No.
Euless Simeon, how do you vote?
As it is her desire to resign, I will accept.
Mr. Doss?
Accept.
Mr. Bro? Mr. Ricky?
No.
So we have 2 noes and 2, 3, 4 ayes. So the ayes have it.
Ayes have it, motion carries. That being said, that concludes number 5 and 6 on the business of the commission. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Wait. I think we skipped over other commission business.
Okay. Other commission business, number 7 on the agenda, other commission business.
I just called that at the next meeting, as we discussed earlier, that the item that was discussed earlier be put on the agenda for the next meeting to discuss the issue of the creation of that position, when we voted on that about 3 or 4 meetings ago.
Duly noted. Please put that in the record that the February agenda does need to have discussion. Per Mr. Eunice's request. Any other comments? Motion to dismiss? Second. All in favor of dismiss? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
Sorry.
You okay?
How do I have?
Yeah, have no comment.
Okay, well, policy, the chairman answers all.
You
All right.
can't talk about why you voted the way you did.
No,
Okay.
okay?
What happens next, as far as the next director, procedurally? Can you just answer that
We've got
question?
legal counsel with town reporter. We'll speak to them. That's going to be who makes any comments. So,
Who over there is going to speak on your behalf?
Miss Lenore Finney. She's the attorney in the red jacket.
Hi, would you like to make a comment for us?
No, I haven't been authorized to make comments. Thank you.
I think they just authorized you.
He did.
Special and procedural. What's next?
She wants to further herself through education.
Okay. So, but can't you answer for us what happens next as far as who becomes the next director? Is there a vote? Is that an appointee? I mean,
No, we'll have to accept applications, and there'll just be a process. I mean, but I can't even speak to that because it's been 8 years since we did a hiring. We're going to have to go back and check the rules and follow them, be in compliance with how the hiring goes. But again, that's not a good statement. I'm just telling you, we're going to have to see the process.
You don't even know like what happens.
That's
next.
why I asked Lenore to speak to you, because
Okay.
she can explain all that, you know. I'm not real good to
Okay,
answer.
well, can you talk about the background as to why we got to
I'm
this
good,
level?
man. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to be difficult, but we've got so much going on. Thank y'all for your time, and I really.
Well, you're saying the public doesn't deserve to understand what's happening. That's what you're saying. There's somebody who's going to talk to
Can you
us.
talk to us about?
Are you?
Let's go, guys.
I'm Jim Mustian with
Hey,
the
Jim,
Advocate.
nice to meet you.
Are you Kathy Durbin's attorney? Are you
Nice
representing her?
family.
No.
Okay.
No.
Can you tell us what's next? What did y'all talk about during the break?
You don't want to get in all that.
Is she? I mean, is this part of some kind of deal? She made some kind of compromise?